Thank you, Larry. He almost took my speech, but I kept the papers. Good morning. It is so great to see everyone bright and early on Sunday morning at the culmination of a wonderful leadership summit. In no order of importance, this was a memorable weekend, with award presentations, networking and learning opportunities, keynote speakers from state and national education arenas, and the once-in-a-lifetime governance opportunity we all had yesterday at the Delegate Assembly to review our new advocacy position documents. Thank you for selecting me to serve as your president of MSBA for 2017-2018. I want to once again commend Mr. Larry Felton, our new past president, as our dedicated, heroic, and visionary leader. I know I have big shoes to fill. I look forward to working side by side with our MSBA Board of Directors and our staff, and most especially with local board members throughout the state as we continue to promote public education, to do what's best for kids, and to help school boards succeed. So obviously I've been pondering my thoughts to you today, and I wanted this time to be memorable and not too boring. I promise to take no more than 2 minutes and 40 seconds, but don't start your timers yet. Setting a timer on a phone has personal significance for me. In January 2017, I was fortunate to travel with the Missouri delegation to Washington, D.C. to participate in the NSBA Advocacy Institute. While in D.C., our delegation sat in on a final Senate Education Committee hearing for Betsy DeVos. I know y'all know who she is. Each senator had 5 minutes to voice their reasoning for passing or not passing DeVos to the Senate for the final confirmation vote. Each senator on the committee opinionated or pontificated, whichever way you want to look at it, on the DeVos nomination. Being a little OCD, or maybe bored, I don't know, I just decided to set my timer on my phone for 5 minutes, the time allotted that each senator had to speak. But embarrassingly enough, even though my phone was on silent, guess what? Your timer is not. And there went my little alarm bell. Well, I thought my MSBA colleagues seated around me were going to jump out of their seats and smother me. Talk about embarrassing. So this begins your look into what I am really like. As you'll find out, I'm all about full disclosure, and perhaps I am a little technology challenged. Now, on to the timing of my real message, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, more or less. This is a very significant number for many Missourians. It's the amount of time, give or take some seconds, of the total solar eclipse, which will darken the skies in a diagonal path across Missouri on Monday, August 21st. And just as a sidebar, we come home from a meeting in Chicago on Sunday the 20th, and I said to Colleen, I have got to be in Missouri for the solar eclipse. So I may leave the meeting early, but I'm coming home. No, I won't. So there are so many parallels between this solar eclipse and the state of public education in Missouri and our nation. MSBA began monitoring the legislative session in 2017 in February. There was bright light. Our 3 mics were well prepared. Mike Reed, you know the mics, the 3 lobbyists. Our legislative resolutions, our platform statements, and the Missouri Vision Project were in place to guide their work on behalf of MSBA. But then the darkness moved across the legislative session in the form of charter school expansion, tax credit vouchers, student transfers, educational savings accounts, virtual education, and the recurring discussion on school start dates. These issues continued to cast a darkening shadow, potentially changing the landscape of public education in Missouri. MSBA never gave up on our efforts to prevent the passage of bills, reiterating time and time again what our organization believes in: public education. As the session ended, the glimmer of light returned, just like the sun will reappear at the end of the eclipse. As it stands now, voucher charter expansion bill did not pass, nor did the tax credit scholarship bill. Full funding of the foundation formula, you get the quotes there, passed, accompanied by the potential for money for early childhood education. Maintenance of transportation funding also brought a brighter light to public education. These successes were due to intense advocacy efforts by our members. But we know these issues will peak out again and reappear in future legislative sessions. Our voice has to continue to be strong and proactive, never giving up on our efforts to promote the power and potential of public education. Another solar eclipse is not forecast for Missouri until 2024, but we know that we must advocate and confirm the importance of public education in every legislative session. As an association, we continue on our journey to help our districts keep the brightness in every student's education. And speaking of light, you school board members, all 3,500 of us throughout the state of Missouri, are the lights in your community. Your tireless efforts to effectively govern reap huge rewards. You do what's best for kids. So I will walk proudly with you as we continue to work for all of our public school students in the great state of Missouri. I follow fabulous leaders, and I know there are future leaders out there that are going to help us in this journey, and I appreciate your work, and I look forward to the year ahead. Thank you.